So I've been talking about the glasses I ordered from Zenni Optical, my sponsor. Now, I've never ordered glasses online before. I didn't trust it, to be honest. But mine had a scratch, and Zenni was my sponsor, so I kind of sort of had to do it, right? I mean, I can't tell you about it if I haven't done it. So my previous thinking was, prices are too cheap. These can't be good. I'm not going to like them. I'm picky. I take that back. Mine costs about $70, and I can't tell the difference from the $500 pair I purchased 2 months ago. By the way, my wife likes them too. She said they look good on your face, and I want some too. And at about $70 or less, I can buy them. I am surprised, and I'm a customer. Zenni Optical has prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, all starting at under $30. Go to Zenni.com, pick a frame, upload your prescription. They'll ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And Zenni has that virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frames look on your face, and that is very cool and confidence building. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now it's time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out pretty quick, so don't sit on this. Go to Zenni.com/podcast, promo code podcast15. Okay, funny story. My wife was listening to my podcast the other day. Yes, she does that. And she said, what's this thing called Whatnot you keep talking about on your podcast? Are you shopping without me? Yes, I am. I'm cheating on you. It's called Whatnot. It's live shopping with chat, and it's a lot of fun. Look, I coach a lot of people online. I coach people to make money online. Most don't know how to do it. And I have been telling a few lately to go to Whatnot, see what they're doing, and give it a try. If you're a Whatnot seller, you really shine, and your people find you. And that's a big deal because if you're selling online, they need to find you for you to make money, right? And then they become repeat customers because they see your face, not just your logo. Whatnot is the largest dedicated live shopping platform, whether it's beauty, it's collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies. Yep, cookies. Sellers are building real thriving businesses. Anyone can do it too. Some people on Whatnot are selling, get this, 10 times as much as they do on other major marketplaces. And you don't know this, but Whatnot buyers spend more than an hour on the app every day. They're not browsing. That's why they call them buyers. They're buying your stuff. So here's how it works. You go live, you showcase your products, and you earn real income. Search Whatnot, WHATNOT, in the App Store, download, and you can start selling right away. So about a year ago, I was out in Colorado. I was up in Breckenridge in the Frisco area and headed down on a Friday afternoon, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, back to Denver, and the road was blocked. They were doing some road work. And I detoured a little city, a little town called Georgetown, and I followed everybody else, including my GPS, and took a scary road to get home. It was not a smart decision, but anyway, it happened. I followed my GPS. But you know what the last sign was that I saw before I hit that scary road? Don't follow your GPS. That's true. In this day and age, a lot of us like to follow the GPS, the shortcut, if you will. Sometimes it fails us. And as a guy who not only drives cars, but I fly airplanes, I understand navigation, instrument rated. I understand how to navigate the old way and the GPS way. And trust me, you can't always trust it. But you need some kind of a system to follow for yourself. And that's what we do today. It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com. It's me, Scott Smith. Good to have you here today doing the show. Very, very long time, starting out in 2006 and 5,000 plus episodes. I almost retired from the show. I did a year ago, actually. I said I was going to retire from doing the show, and I just didn't think I could do it anymore. I'd done it a long time. And the more I started to think about it, I said, no, you know what? I can. I need to make some changes to it. I need to have a little more fun with it, kind of take some of the boundaries off myself a little bit, have a good time, and maybe do a little video, and why not? Share the gray hair with the world. You know, that's the thing about doing this for a long time. You have videos going back all that time. Man, I was so young and pretty back then. I mean, not that I'm not pretty anymore, but I'm certainly not young anymore. Although I see people around, relatively speaking, I'm pretty damn young. I've talked a lot about this week about the Daily Awareness Diary. I've told you you should go get it. I bugged you. I'm not going to do that today. If you want to be bugged and hear all the reasons, I want you to go to dailyawarenessdiary.com. Listen to the past 4 shows. I will bug the crap out of you, and I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to be nice to you today. 3 shows, I think. Where were we? Thursday so far? You're only Thursday this week. Okay. So let's talk about not trusting your GPS, not trusting your map. Now, in the personal development world, the growth world, it's a common metaphor. It's like I talked about the other day about, you know, if the plane has trouble, get your mask first and then put the mask on somebody else. Same thing. It's a metaphor you hear all the time. You also hear the GPS metaphor. It just happens constantly. And it's a good metaphor, and we need to have that. But I don't know. You know, the GPS is like, you know, there's people programming the GPS. You know, there's technology behind the GPS, and sometimes it doesn't work. Have you noticed? Have you ever followed Waze? Yeah, don't do that. As is regular people now communicating with Waze and it's doing something, and suddenly you're in somebody's backyard driving your car. Sometimes you can't trust it. And in life, what I've learned is ultimately you have to trust yourself. Doesn't mean ignore anything else. It doesn't mean to shun everybody else or any other system. No, but you have to trust yourself first. And that's what I'm going to give you today. A little bit of a system you can overlay into what you're doing that will help you kind of give you some guidance. You may or may not like it because there's some things in here that you're not going to like or need to disagree with. But you may also find it's something that makes a lot of sense to you. And it's very easy to do as well. So let's get into it. I call it MAPSS. I created this for a client probably 20 years ago now, and it's had great success over the years, taught it many, many years to many, many people. And usually it's a kind of a foundational layer for folks. There's a lot that happens underneath the hood here, but this is the basics, okay? So the MAPSS system is MAPSS. Yes, there's two S's. I have to take a sip of tea here. I could edit that out, but back in the old days when I started podcasting, that was fun because, you heard the trains out the window, you heard the microwave running in the background. It's just, I think it's great that way. Why edit all the fun, right? Go ahead, take a sip of coffee while we talk here. So the MAPSS system, the MAPPS, starts with motivation. Now, motivation is key to everything. Now, you know that that I don't believe the why's first. Most people say the why. Know your why. I've just learned over time that most people don't know their why, and the reason they don't know their why is they don't know what they want. I've often learned that when you know what you want, you will discover your why. For instance, when I buy a motorcycle, I'm on motorcycle number 7 now, and I've had haul Harleys forever, but I'll go buy a Harley, and I say, honey, I'm going to buy that motorcycle. That's what I want. That's what I want. I'm going to buy that one. Just did it back in October. What a brand new 2024 Street Glide. And my wife will say to me, why? I know what I want. I hadn't thought about why I want. So I have to think fast. I'm a guy, right? Because, it's got a more comfortable seat for you and it has safety features on it. That's why I want that. It's no idea why. It's not why I want that bike, but you get my point, right? The why comes later. Then you have the motivation to go after it. So the motivational key here is that motivation must always be in place no matter what you're doing. If you don't have the motivation to get what you want and sustain what you want, you're not going to get what you want. That's all there is to it. So you have to find the inspiration somehow to get the motivation that will help you discover what you want and then build the why to go after it. So the first thing in any project you do, what's my motivation? Here's an inside tip. I don't do anything if I don't find the motivation. I just don't do it. If I have a project or anything I'm doing, if I want to work with somebody else, want to buy something, I won't move until I figure out what's the motivation behind it. And once I do, it always costs me money. But I save a lot when I figure out that I'm not motivated. Number 2, we have the accountability key here. Now, this is one that I think a lot of people are accountable. It's pretty easy to kind of diss on folks and say, man, nobody's accountable. Nobody's in discipline anymore. But the truth is, in a planet of 8 billion people, there's a lot of really, really good people out here. I would say that's the norm. That's 99.9%. We hear about the guys that, you know who we hear about. So I think most people are accountable. But if you become accountable, if you simply say, this is what I'm going to do, I'm accountable to me, it's going to happen, and put some measures in to make sure you can account for what's happening, you're going to succeed. So you're motivated and you are accountable to what's happening. Number 3, planning. Planning's key. I plan this show like crazy when I do this. Now, I do it differently than most people. Actually, I'm a hot mess before I actually plan the show. That's my style. I brainstorm, I spitball, I dream, I wonder what I can do, and then I'll sit down and plan it out and do it. It's planned right now. So if you don't work or plan your work, you can't work your plan. So what else? We have 2 more. We have the double S's of the system. The 2 S's of the MAP system are systemization. The first steps are a little bit difficult always. Whenever you start something out, it's difficult. Once you get easier and you figure it out, things do get easier and you can keep it going. So you want to systemize it. Why do we want to do that? Well, because it makes it easier. Now, a lot of people say, Scott, you're talking motivation or automation, right? You're automating things. Not really. Maybe so. Automate a computer, get your AI, get an agent, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Go for it and have a great time. But I'm already talking about that. I'm talking more basic. I'm talking biological. I'm talking your mind, your brain, the ability for you to have patterns and routines, habits that are deeply inside you. That's what I want you to do. I want you to take this motivation, this accountability, this planning, and get your action steps going, and then get it so easy that it's just inside of you. Just do it naturally every single day. That's the first level for me of systemization.
Teens share everything. That may include the bacteria that can cause meningococcal disease known as meningitis. Even if your teen's been vaccinated in the past, they could still be missing meningitis vaccinations. Ask your teen's doctor or visit meningitis.com today. Sponsored by GSK.
The next level, all the technical stuff, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely do that. And the final S that we have in the whole MAPSS system here, sustainability. It's going to take longer than you think to get what you want. It always does. And that's why you really have to have a strong why to get there. It takes long. You want to sustain that ability to get there. And also, once you get there, it's somewhat difficult to sustain where you are. It's just like going to the gym. It's going to take a lot of work to go to the gym and get in shape and build the muscles and lose the weight and the whole thing. And you're going to have to sustain that effort for a good amount of time to get there, far longer than you think it's going to be. And it's okay because the ride is fun. But once you get there, if you suddenly say, well, I did it now. Look at me. I'm in great shape. I'm going to take 2 years off. You know what happens then? Well, things changed. It's not sustainable anymore. And you're the person that we run into at the gym that as we're having a conversation in the morning, well, 3 years ago, let me show you I had my abs. And you pull out a picture and you scroll and you got all the parties and all the Christmas and New Year's and the birthdays and the beer and all that stuff. And you finally get back to the thing that you did a couple of years ago. You say, man, holy moly, I sure wish I sustained that better. Well, maybe you didn't use that word, but it worked for a podcast. You got to admit, that's pretty damn cool. All right. DailyBoostPodcast.com/Facebook. Come on over. Let's have some fun and call me out. Say, hey, Scott. And DailyAwarenessDiary.com. You can get that. And PerfectWeekPlanner.com. Another freebie for you, plus another free podcast tomorrow.